Today, Frederick Douglass. Today, Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass stood at the podium trembling with nervousness. Before him sat abolitionists who had traveled to the Massachusetts island of Nantucket. Only 23 years old at the time, Douglass overcame his nervousness and gave a stirring, eloquent speech about his life as a slave. And he would continue to give speeches for the rest of his life and would become a leading spokesperson for the abolition of slavery and for racial equality. Frederick Douglass escaped from slavery to become a writer and advocate for abolition, women's suffrage, and racial equality. An abolitionist is a person who was against slavery in the U.S. Known for his famous autobiographies where he reveals his history, starting by how he handled being born a slave. The story of Douglass brings us back to 1818, when he was born in a Maryland plantation and was immediately separated from his mother by his master. During this time, he was exposed to the degradation of slavery, witnessing firsthand brutal weapons and spending much time cold and hungry. After 11 years, Frederick is sent to a family in Baltimore, where he worked as a slave. However, he understands that the main way for white people to keep the Negroes as slaves was depriving them from education. A slave owner's wife helped him learn the basics of reading, although teaching slaves how to read was against the law. His education was stopped when the husband found out, but he taught himself by watching other white kids learn. Later, he taught other slaves how to read, which earned him beatings from his owner. So, Douglass also had a heart. Anna Monroe, a first Douglass wife, was a free black woman who shared his passion and commitment to the abolitionist cause and helped him escape slavery. Douglass' second wife was Helen Pitts, was very active in the women's rights movement. To continue, Douglass, around the age of 20, escaped to the North and became an anti-slavery activist. Douglass wrote his life and history in his three narrative autobiographies called Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave, this and two subsequent autobiographies, My Bondage and My Freedom, and The Life and Times of Frederick. Frederick Douglass' life as an abolitionist started around the year 1840, with his attacks on Jim Crow law and almost ended. He viewed the Union victory as an apocalyptic rebirth of America as a nation rooted in a rewritten constitution and the ideal of racial equality. Some of his hopes were dashed during Reconstruction and the Gilded Age, but he continued to travel widely and lecture on racial issues, national politics, and women's rights. Frederick Douglass empowered African Americans to develop their own skills and to take responsibility for their actions. Douglass believed that African Americans had to prove that they deserved citizenship. But the most important and legacy from Douglass is his wise use of words to fight for the rights of African Americans. He used different skills to persuade and communicate his desire for freedom. But the most important and legacy from Douglass is his wise use of words to fight for the rights of African Americans. He used different skills to persuade and communicate his desire for freedom.
Created using Powtoon.